All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aussie Tech Security. It is episode 23. So, how are you guys going? It is brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au and Roger's little dig in the world at rniconsulting.com.au. That's R for Roger, N for Nelly, I for Igloo, consulting.com.au. Reach him on the Twitter at smsecurity or reach me on the Twitter at Glenn Goodman. So, welcome, and let's welcome Roger. Hi, Roger. How you going?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, nice. Wow. Yeah. Now, for those on the video, they can see that you're surrounded by trees. What a lovely little setting we've got today.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a cafe. I'm lucky.
Yeah, very nice. How's the coffee?
Yeah, very good.
Excellent. Latte? Cappuccino?
No, cappuccino.
Oh, nice. I would have thought it might have been a strong black before the show.
Yeah, triple black in a small glass.
That's right. All right. Now, look, we've got a couple of stories. We thought we'd just go through a bit of news next few episodes and see how that one rolls for format-wise. But look, so Roger's come up. He's found a story about some Apple malware. What can you tell us about Apple malware? I didn't think it existed. Yeah,
no, it exists. It definitely exists. There's a new type of malware that's coming out now that it's a crypto locker virus, and it actually locks documents and files on a Mac.
Right.
The trouble is it's been very badly written.
Oh, no.
Which is not unusual, but it's been so badly written that even if you do end up having all your data encrypted on your PC or your Mac, and then you pay the ransom and you get the key, it doesn't bloody work.
Oh, happy days.
So in other words, you've really only got one fallback, and that's to go back to the backup that you had. Hopefully it was yesterday, but if it was before that, then you've lost all that information that's now been encrypted.
Geez, it's hard to get good malware these days, isn't it?
Yeah, you just can't trust anybody at all, can you?
You can't. Oh, God, what are we paying for? Okay.
That's right. That's what we're paying them for. Is just to screw our lives up.
Yeah. Now, so this just comes through the normal way. You know, open up you got a parcel.
Yeah. Post parcel or any of the normal routes into your system. As you said, we were talking about just before you turn the record button on. The same with the Google Chrome problem. There's now a Google, I suppose. Pointing to a piece of malware that you download accidentally, and it's just saying that the font on your system is not compatible with what's on the page, right, and you need to download a new font. You've always got to remember that anything that you have to download from anywhere to make a website work, the first thing you got to do is go back to where you know something was working. And if it was working before and it's now not working, it's not you, it's them.
Yes. Yeah. So when you were mentioning the font, because there's scams about fonts as well, and because I was reading something the other day. This is how easy it is, and I probably would have fell for something like this. And it's like I saw a video of a hacker getting access to, say, someone's system, say to your system, and all it does is somehow he's able to get into, to a certain degree into your system, and then your browser will pop up. I've got an update for the browser, just a nice little, the little line that comes up the top or whatever, and you think, geez, I would do that if an update that says, Chrome needs to be updated. So wouldn't you do it? Obviously not.
I wouldn't, mainly because I know that both Chrome and Firefox, if they are in the process of actually running the application, the moment you open up the application, it actually checks to make sure that there's no updates available. It won't render if there's an update on Google or Firefox until it's actually downloaded the update. It won't initiate an update while you've got the program opening.
Yeah, okay. Right, well, I didn't know that. So, yeah, I just thought, that is pretty sneaky because that's something I probably would have done. Yeah, because I don't think I would hang around and, go to the, whatever it is, about help and check for updates. If it comes up, you go, okay. And then once you click on the update, that is actually installing something on your computer, and then they've got just about full access.
Yep, they're downloading malware. Most of these attacks come through a thing called Metasploit. because it's the capability of what they can use.
Right.
The script kiddies can use it, so it's a readily available program. It's an install that comes with Kali, for instance.
Right.
And you literally, all you do is run it, and you can create these sort of malware attacks straight out of the box. The people you really got to worry about are the ones who are outside that box. So they're writing their own malware, they're writing their own attack systems, and they're using other ways to get into your computer.
Yeah, there's a alert this week, and I think it's coming over from the US. But there's one about it's called the "Are You There" virus, or not virus, "Are You There" scam. And people are ringing up and ringing your phone, and they're asking, "Are you there?" As if they can't hear you or whatever. And then and all your responses are being recorded, and then they're being recorded because you're going, "Yes, yes, I'm here," and they're recording them to play them back to automated services like your bank and stuff to try and get into your bank accounts and all this sort of stuff. It's just crazy. Like I've never would have thought of anything like that. So what do you do there? You just do you train your brain to?
You've got to train your brain to think outside the box in today's world. You really do. We've got a client who we saw a spectacularly effective spear phishing scam done on recently. And the bad guys actually picked up a URL or pick up domain name that looked very similar to their own.
Right.
Their domain name had group in it as a part of their domain, so group.com.au. And what they'd actually done is change the G to a Q, so it was QROUP.com.au.
Right.
They'd sent an email from that domain from the CEO of at this. Okay, and if you look at the underlined part of the email, it looks like it came from the CEO internally. Now, this really surprised us because it was really, really very effective. It caught 3 of the people in the accounts department, literally, and we actually then had to scramble really badly to fix the problems that it created.
I know. Look, there's heaps of these things going around, and another one that I saw through the week as well was a PayPal one. Yeah. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but I've got this one for those on the video. I've got a little bit of a picture of this one. Now, it's all to do with the SSL certificates.
Yes.
And these are being misappropriated or whatever as well. So what goes on here is, when you can load up a PayPal and what looks like PayPal, but it's not, even though it's still a secure site.
It's a secure site, but if you have a look at the URL, once again, the URL will actually give a lot of this stuff away. And you've got to remember that paypal.com, it will only be paypal.com / whatever the directory they want you to go into. If PayPal is part of the URL prior to that, then it's very easy to get a certificate that actually matches that domain, which then looks like exactly what you're talking about. And if you have a look there, go back up there.
Yeah.
If you have a look where your cursor is right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. If you see up the top there, see that? Yep. It says paypal.com - summary ASP, and that's the actual certificate.
Right.
Okay,
right.
And that's the difference. Like if it was a proper PayPal, it'd be paypal.com, and that would be it. If you have a look at that right at the top of that black box, it says paypal.com, summary sport.com. That's where the certificate is coming from.
Yes.
So it looks exactly like PayPal, but it's not actually it's not actually coming from PayPal.
Yeah, I knew someone that got, I don't know if he would, probably not this particular scam, but I don't know how this would work. Obviously, it was pretty good. Must have been something similar. But he sold a camera. Well, it was $600 camera. He sold it for $800 to someone in China. And so he waited for it to hit the PayPal. So he's checked on his phone. He's seen it gone in, so he sent it away. And then it disappeared out of the PayPal. So I don't know, you can't sort of get inside his mind and what he's actually done, but he reckons that he did see it in his PayPal account. So whether or not it was like, he got an email, click this link to make sure your money's received in PayPal. He's clicked the link. It's a bad link. It's taken. It's spoofed his whatever.
Yep.
And so it's gone to China. See you later.
Yeah, my daughter got caught by that as about 5 or 6 years ago as well.
Right.
She was selling her MacBook,
Oh, that's
and
a,
she actually went through the whole process. Yeah, someone put money into her supposedly put money into her PayPal account. Um, she went down to the post office, posted it off, and she suddenly realised that it didn't make any sense, and she actually stopped it before it actually left the post office.
oh, right. Oh, right.
Yes,
Because
yeah,
that's a feat in itself, isn't it? If you once you post it, let it go over the counter.
yeah, that's right.
That's a,
And she was actually what she did was she posted it and then went and had a cup of coffee, and she was reading something that triggered in her mind, and she said, "Hang on a sec, I'll go and get that back, and I don't want to send it today. I'll wait until everything else has been cleared."
yeah, right, right.
And then she reported it to the police, actually, which was really good as well.
Yes, yeah. Well, I suppose what can they really do? But
They can't do much, but if they get enough ammunition, they can actually start doing things about it. This is one of the biggest problems with digital crime, business crime, in the digital world is the fact that people don't report it at all. Someone might get hacked. The best thing for a small business, medium business to do is hide and say it didn't happen to us. And that really does go the other way. It really helps the bad guys. It doesn't help you very much at all.
yeah. Now, look, there's heaps of. Look, I've just jumped onto the Scam Watch page. The
Oh, yes.
Scam
Acorn.
Watch. The who? Sorry.
Acorn or Scamwatch?
Scamwatch.gov.au.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, there's just heaps of them. There's heaps of them. So other ones, yeah, obviously we've heard all about the, people ringing up and saying you've got a problem with the computer. It's it's spewing out viruses or spewing out emails everywhere, and
Yep.
and they can't. No one's going to ring you. Microsoft is not going to ring you.
Well, Microsoft's not going to ring you. If you've really got a problem with spending out spam email and it's going absolutely crazy, you'll probably get an email from your ISP. And also, if it's that bad, the ISP will actually cut you off, and you will have to ring them to find out what's going on.
Yeah, that's right.
There's even in today's world, if you start punching out a million emails in the space of a couple of hours, then the ISP gets pretty annoyed with it.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and look, there's other scams that come through emails. I know of a few people that have actually been scammed lately. I don't know what people are doing, but received an email.
It's not so much the people who are getting scammed. It's the actual scammers are getting a lot more savvy to how people actually work and what they do when they're attached to the internet. And I think that's something that we really got to take notice of. Is we've got Darwinianism coming into it as well, because the people who are incompetent, the people who don't change, are the ones who are getting caught, and it's constantly evolving, and they're finding better and easier ways to do things. And that's where it literally does survival of the fittest. If you're a good hacker, then you are going to make a lot of money out of this, and you're going to screw a lot of people.
There might be a future. I might be on the wrong path, Roger.
Yes. I've thought about that a few times, actually. Yeah, how come they're making lots of money and I'm not?
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing wrong? But there's just got to be so careful. This particular person who got scammed, it was something like accommodation scam, and received an email just out of the blue, cheap accommodation, blah 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 in the US. They were actually going to the US, so they looked in and give the credit card number, and I think like $1,000 later, they've just had second thoughts, rang the bank, and apparently the bank said, can't help you, you gave the number, so that's it. That's the end of the story. And so obviously rang back this place, and they go, no, you can't have your money back. So
it's our money now. It's not yours.
Yeah, well, that's right. So it's a lot to lose. The other ones that have been around of late, like Centrelink scams.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you know about these ones as well? If you see,
I don't know whether that's a scam or just Centrelink, though.
Right. That the whole Centrelink is a scam.
Yeah, well, that's
it's a scam in itself. Yeah. So if you receive a phone call from out of the blue from someone claiming to be from Centrelink, you get these ones from the tax office. You get the ones from electricity or AGL. I think that was a popular one.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Mr. Robot?
Yeah, I'm halfway through the second series.
If you go back to the first episode in the first series, about 10 minutes in,
Oh, yes.
yeah, it shows you exactly how those scams work. Because what they do is they find out how they're going to target you, and then they actually ring you up and ask you the questions that the people who would actually ask you if you were actually going through a support call.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's your favourite colour? What's your name of your dog? All of that sort of stuff. And if you answer it correctly, then there's a very good chance that someone can record it, and then you can go, and then they can use that information to actually impersonate you to do something else.
I wonder, like, not that it'd be worth their while, but, like just what we're doing now. Why can't people just download the podcast, and if they really wanted to get into, say, mine or your bank accounts or whatever, for whatever reason, then they could chop up our audio, or say, or the audio on a movie, of a famous actor or something.
Yep.
So I wonder who's liable there. Like, if that happens and money goes missing out of accounts, and it's been scammed using this method, but it's your voice. How are they going to prove that it wasn't you? It's your voice.
Yep.
That's going to be hard.
Yeah, and it's getting more sophisticated. You ever used Dragon software?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Dragon software, about 3 versions ago, it used to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to train it so it understood your voice.
Right.
We installed the new Dragon software on a client's computer last week, and it took it a minute to understand what you were talking about and actually train it.
Wow.
And once it's done that, it automatically updates itself to make sure that it's getting better and better all the time. So the smarts behind some of this stuff nowadays is very, very clever.
And it's all geared towards emptying out your bank account, no doubt.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is. It's just be informed, listening to podcasts like this, and be informed what's going on around you, what the latest scams are. Subscribe to scamwatch.gov.au.
Yep, totally agree. There's a lot of way for them to part you from your money, and the idea is to be as aware as possible when it comes to how you protect that information. And it's not so much just your money, it's who you are, it's what you are on the internet, it's what you are in real life, what your focus is, what your hobbies are. All of these things come into it, and it really does get pretty scary when these people can put together a dossier over you and find out exactly what makes you tick. And that's relatively easy by just searching Google, never mind doing anything else.
Yeah, well, look, I think I might have avoided a scam. I think I have avoided a scam just the other week, and it wasn't nothing too, with the internet and all this. It was a real localised sort of a scam. Well, I'm calling it a scam because I reckon it is. But I get the cold call out of the blue, and buddy, it's John here from the Rabina Bowls Club. We're doing some bowls cards up. Do you want to do something? $300 for 5,000. And you go, I've heard of you. I've had a few beers down at the Bowls Club. Yeah, that's right. He goes, the boys down here talk about your business all the time. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway.
Stroking.
So I went, okay, shoot me the details. Send them to me. So when I got the details, it was like it was all fairly old information. They'd sort of done it all up pretty basically and pretty poorly, I might add, but the logos and all this sort of stuff. But it was off some really old stuff, like some, I don't know, it was off like yellow pages that I'd stopped using about 3 years ago or something.
Yep.
So I thought, you're going to have to change all that. So they changed it all. And then when I got the thing back, I just thought, doesn't seem right. So I started looking into it. It had, their email address was a Gmail address. And then it had another email address, which was like a domain address. And then it had their another email address, which was like a Hotmail address. There was 3 email addresses on it for some reason.
Yeah.
And so then I looked up, I got the domain address and thought I'll have a look at their website. And I went to a page not found at Wix.com. So I thought,
really?
Yes, I thought, well, that's no good. And then I started Googling them and looking up their ABN and all this sort of stuff. And I sort of finally made a link towards something else that I thought might have been close to them, and it had gone out of business and all this sort of stuff. And then I started doing reviews on them, and then it was, these guys are a scam. They offer you all this, and nothing ever turns up.
Yep.
And so I thought, right, well, I've just saved myself $300.
That's right. Well, the other thing about that is if there's I suppose an understanding that people like me will not target those type of people.
Mm.
Well, what I would have done was actually sent them an email back with an attachment.
Oh, yes. I don't have any of those attachments.
Yeah, but yeah, well, I do.
Yeah. I might have to come and visit you with a hard drive.
Yeah, but the idea is literally I could have sent them back exactly what we're talking about. I sent them back a PDF that says, open this. This has got all the information that you were asking for.
Yeah.
That would have given me a backdoor into their system, and we could find out exactly what they are doing. But there is an unwritten law in the cybersecurity workspace that you don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's getting to the point where a lot of people are going to start doing that.
Yeah, and it's also I know because like say you and me and everyone listening, we're not bad people, don't want to do that sort of thing. Yep. And I think because you think, oh well, what goes around comes around. I think you're probably better off to be more vigilant, than maybe go out and cause trouble. but other well, you don't know like what happens if you're into something that's completely legit. Then you've probably broken the law.
Yeah, well, that's right. And as I said, it's an unwritten law that you don't actually target the people who are targeting you. But I think that's actually gonna change around probably at the end of this year, right, when people realise that hey, what they're doing is relatively easy to do, and some of the stuff that not so much me being capable of, but some of the people I work with are capable of, can actually turn you grey. See?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure it can.
But it really is quite frightening stuff. Yeah, and I don't think these people would have realised that hey, by doing this makes them a target as well.
Yeah, well, I suppose if they had have asked you for Bowls Club scorecards, then they probably would have been attacked by now.
Yeah, it's funny about that. No, hey, I've got all the information. It's in it's in this PDF. Would you like to just open it and have a look?
Well, that's how easy is that? Seriously, and they could do the same to me, but another one that goes around. Anyone that's ever had a website or a domain, you get the letters that says, "Oh, your domain's coming up for renewal. It's $500 to renew if you want to do it." Seriously.
Well, I used to get pissed off with just Melbourne IT when they were charging $150 for a domain, where you could go to Net Registry or Web City or any of those other places and get it for $22 a year type stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We're even cheaper. ATH Web Hosting, $19.95 for a .com.
Thank you, plug. But yeah, it's exactly the same thing. We used to. This is in 2008, 2009 when this was happening, where you could buy a domain for $20, and people were still going to Melbourne IT because they didn't trust the ones that were being supplied by everybody else.
Yeah,
and that was really how Melbourne IT got off the ground in the first place, because they were so expensive, but they didn't deliver anything different from anybody else.
No, well, it's not as if they do any work, is it? But so these letters, they've just come out saying that your domain's being renewed. Would you like to renew it? And obviously, they got no control over your domain. They're just some scam. But the strange thing was, most of the time, I used to receive actual letters, in the post, but they all come from like US or China or somewhere. And you think, well, what am I going to be paying that for? But
well, the other one is also when they come up and say you need to protect the other domains that people might actually put in. So, in other words, you might have a .com.au domain, and they can say that the .com domain is free and the .net domain is free and the .net.au domain is free, and ask you to pay $300 for each of those.
Yeah, right, yes.
If you think about it, if you paid $300 and you still got the domain, then it wouldn't be a problem anyway. It would just be that you've just been ripped off more than anything else.
Yeah, and I think you just got to be vigilant, haven't you? And I think probably companies are probably as a bigger target as anyone, because the mail comes in, and probably the person at the mail desk or whatever, they're just going, invoice, invoice, bill, whatever, invoice. Whatever, sorts in piles, and then the invoices go to the accounts department and they just get paid. sometimes. They just,
Yep.
yeah, just,
Oh, there are checks and balances in place, but that's also what we do with people as well. We put policies and procedures around that type of thing.
yeah.
Like if you are doing that and you've got a fairly substantial organisation, then you need to have someone going, I'm going to put that into the system. I'm going to check it before I do, but you need another check after that.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so there's heaps of scams around, especially around holidays like Christmases and whatever. Look, there was one a few years back around Anzac Day.
Yes.
So, I haven't read up on that one, but I imagine it's just, maybe they ring up and ask for donations,
Yep.
and all this sort of stuff. And it's so bad. Even the people that come to your front door, looking for money, like, I don't give them nothing.
No, nor do I. I have a nasty habit of upsetting the wife by telling these people to bugger off.
Yeah, well, you notice these days they come to the door and maybe they are legit, but, well, maybe they're not. But they're not asking for money. They don't accept cash. They want your credit card.
Yeah.
They want you to do the continual payments. So whether or not that's a scam, who knows? But a lot of work, isn't it, to walking around the neighbourhood looking for credit cards? But these, I suppose these guys do it. That's what they do. So you just got to be, excuse me, just got to be careful with everything. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right.
Losing your voice already.
Oh, I know. Talking about scams. So I think, look, that's all about scams. I think we've covered a few of the latest ones going around, but I'm sure there's 1,000 more. So you just got to be vigilant. Watch your URLs where you're going. If you want to check your PayPal from, say, like the previous story, maybe don't link to it through an email link.
Don't follow a link. Just open up a browser and go to it properly.
Yeah, just type it in properly yourself. Same with banks. Never just follow links. Just always type in nab.com.au or cba.com.au or whatever it is.
Yep.
And you just got to do it the long way. Do it the hard way. And it'll save you some grief in the long run.
Yeah,
all right.
totally agree.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think that's just about all we've got for this week. Are you all out, Rog? That's all you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that's all I want to talk about.
Good stuff. All right. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. It's been another good episode. A lot of info there. So just make sure I don't want to hear stories of anyone that listens to this show getting scammed.
I totally agree.
I'll feel like I'm a failure. So if you do get scammed, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah, it wasn't our fault. We tried to tell you.
But look, no, seriously, and if you have been scammed or whatever, and you want to share it, just send me an email, glenn@aussietechheads.com.au. Just send me an email about the you don't have to give you all the detail in and out, but just tell us what one it was and why and how you maybe fell for it. If I want to
just put it in the show notes.
Yeah. Well, if they send me an email, I'll put it in and we'll we'll chat about it, or if there's a few, we'll put it in the show notes and so people can have a look. All right, good stuff. Thanks, Roger. We'll see you next episode.
Thanks, Glenn.
All right, cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.